The Bible lady reserves for the Lord. Grow grass, smoke grass, and rest with the crowd. Bible ladies here, light up the house, for the wicked have seen their last as we all inhale life's good smoke. As we all learn from the pasture, bring it safe. Bring it safe. Bring it safe.
Hey there. Hi. Wait 1 second. I want to see if my microphone. Look, I've been in a hotel. I've been in the hotel. So all my stuff is unhooked. Man. Okay. Just wanted to see if my mic was working. So, anyway, I've been at the hotel and, my big computer isn't working. Well, it does work. It just doesn't work hooked to this internet for some weird reason. Anyway, something happened. But I took my big computer to the hotel with me and it works at the hotel. So I was able to make that song like my beginning thingamabob. And I was like, fuck yeah. So tonight I'm going to try to see if I can do an indie thingamabob. I'm almost like a real streamer. Except for none of my computer shit is hooked up. My microphone is not hooked up. My God voice is not hooked up. Pretty much nothing is hooked up. And we're living out of a hotel. But we had to come back to the house. Like we will spend the day here at the house for the cats. And they are not happy with being here by themselves all night. They are not impressed by us. Even the stray cats are kind of mad. Like, they gave us the cold shoulder and just ran in the basement. Yeah, stray cats running in the basement. That's a thing. That's why I can't leave this house. That's why we can't leave this house. Because the next people may not be so happy to the cats. Oh man, what am I going to do with my life? Oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm going to do with my life. Take this fucking sweater off because it was made for somebody with big boobs. Do you see it? Okay, maybe if I see, it's made for somebody fat with big boobs, and I am only partially fat and have very small boobs. This sweater is no bueno. Oh, Oh, yeah. Yeah. Speaking of hotel, we're at this place called Jury. Jury. I don't know, but it's really good. It's a really nice place to stay. The landlord put us up in something called Jury. We're on the fifth floor. They're like, take this, assholes. Your plumbing is out. Yeah, climb 5 flights of steps. No, they only have one elevator. We tried to get down there in time for breakfast, but the elevator was not having it. It just crawls. But Dawson said it might have been because, like, there were 3 school field trips last night. 2 percussion bands. One came in 8th place in the nationals, and the other came in 9th place. And then there was basketball girls. But I teenage girls freak me out, so I didn't even bother asking them. But I asked this little black kid what he was doing, and he said he played in the percussion band that won 8th place. And I told him congratulations, and he said, yeah, I know, that's so metal, right? And I was flabbergasted. I was floored. I said, oh, this little black kid said that's so metal. I was like, whoa, mind blown for life, dude. I couldn't believe it. Because they like the new age kids, like, they don't like metal, or they don't like real metal. And they definitely don't say things like that's so metal. You know what? Maybe they do. Maybe it's a fashion statement now. Ugh, I'm going to quit saying it. I don't want it to be a fashion statement. Burning down churches and shooting up churches. That's like a fashion statement. Only losers do shit like that, especially to be famous. Like, what do you want to be famous for? Yeah, you burnt down a church. You gave these people way more money than you wanted to give them. Insurance is a real thing. You're not screwing anybody by burning down a church. Are you kidding me? God doesn't give a shit about a church. God gives a shit about a people. A very specific people. And speaking of very specific people, we need to do some reading. What are we at? 24. Okay, Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim king, who was Josiah's son, but he named him Jehoiakim. Okay? And that was the Pharaoh of Egypt. And he made him pay taxes and stuff. So on 24, it says, in his days, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up, and Jehoiakim became his vassal for 3 years. Then he turned and rebelled against him. And the Lord sent against him raiding bands of Chaldeans, Syrians, Moabites, Ammon. And he sent them against Judah to destroy it, according to the word of the Lord, which he had spoken through the prophets. Surely, at the commandment of the Lord, this came upon Judah, to remove them from his sight because of all the sins of Manasseh, according to all he had done. and also because of the innocent blood that he had shed. For he had filled Jewland with innocent blood, which the Lord would not pardon. What? Oh, we're not even supposed to be reading Kings. We're supposed to be reading Jesus. Good, because, yeah, I'm not even in. No, we're supposed to be reading Jesus. My bad. So let me get my life together here, huh? Okay. Okay. Here we go. Put this right here. Okay. So, oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. We're at the Jesus. And oh, yeah, where Jesus is going into this diatribe about how you need to eat his flesh to be saved. And for some reason, they're saying Jesus got away with saying this shit in front of these people, but they didn't do nothing about it. That did not happen. This did not happen because then they wouldn't have had to make any false witnesses against him. If he would have said this, they could have just crucified him that moment and nobody would have been mad. But Jesus didn't say that, so they had to make false witnesses. And people were mad because everybody was like, what the fuck happened? Okay. Oh, yeah. And then um, hold on, what they say to him? He was like, don't you guys want to go? And then fucking Peter was like, yeah, but we know who you are. Where are we going to go? And then Jesus was like, did I not choose you, the 12? And one of you is a devil. And for some reason, they're saying, oh, well, he knew it was Judah, or he knew it was Judas. Yeah. Because they knew that he knew that. They didn't know that he knew that. I don't know that to be true. But again, like some of this stuff, it's like Jesus didn't say this. There's no way he said this stuff and they needed to make a false witness against him. And especially if they're saying he said this in front of multitudes of people and Pharisees and Sadducees and scribes. But yet they had to make a false witness against him. That's how you know he didn't say this. This is one of those. Well, this justifies the murder of Jesus because he said these things that clearly he did not say. But we've got to make it legal for him to be murdered. Okay, so now we're on chapter 7 of John. After these things, Jesus walked in Galilee, for he did not want to walk in Judea because of these terrible ass people who sought to kill him. Now, these terrible ass people's Feast of Tabernacles was at hand. Look, I'm going to read this, and then you think of it what you will. I'll tell you what I think, and then I'll tell you what I understand these other Christian, well, I'm not even a Christian, what these Christians think, or what I'm told they think anyway, by some of them who think the exact same thing because they don't have their own brains. But I'll read it and then I'll tell you what I think. Okay. Because now the tabernacles was at hand. His brothers therefore said to him, Depart from here and go into Judea, that your disciples may also see the works that you are doing. For no one does anything in secret while he himself seeks to be known openly. If you do these things, show yourself to the world. For even his brothers did not believe in him. But his brothers were his disciples. His brothers and his mothers followed him. They were all up in the Jesus and they believed in him so much. No, Jesus' brother right here is being an asshole. Like, don't talk about it, be about it. That's what his brothers are saying to him right now. Don't speak about it, be about it, bro. You talk a big game, but are you going to go fight? Like, you talk a lot of shit. Are you going to go back it up? And then Jesus says, my time has not yet come, but your time is always ready. The world cannot hate you, but it hates me because I testify that it's evil. You go up to this feast. I am not yet going up to this feast, for my time has not fully come. It's going to mean something when I go, bro. It ain't going to mean shit when you go. Mic drop. If this is true, Jesus' brother is not his disciple. If this is true, Jesus' brothers and Jesus' family did not follow him. If this part is true. The book says it. I don't know. The book said it, and so far, this is the most full of book. This is the most full of shit Jesus book there is, other than Luke, but that he didn't even, that wasn't even firsthand. That shit he heard. And then he just filled in the story with expressive words. So when he had said these things to them, he remained in Galilee. But when his brothers had gone up, he also went up to the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret. Then Das Juden sought him at the feast and said, Where's this man? And there was much complaining among the people concerning him. Some said, He is good. Others said, No, he deceives y'all. However, no one spoke openly of him for fear of these terrible ass people. Now, about the middle of the feast, Jesus went up to the temple and taught. How does this man know letters, having never studied? Oh, and the Jews marveled. How can this man know these things if he's never studied? Then why the fuck do you call him teacher? Why do you call him rabbi? If they're like, this guy is a stupid idiot, but they call him teacher and they call him rabbi, which is how you know he had short hair. Because only teachers and rabbis have short hair. And Jesus said, my doctrine is not mine, but his who sent me. If anybody wills to do his will, he shall know concerning the doctrine, whether it is from God or whether I speak on my own. He who speaks from himself seeks his own glory, but he who seeks the glory of the one who sent him is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Did not Moses give you the law? Yet none of you keep the law. Why do you seek to kill me? And the people answered and said, you have a demon who is seeking to kill you. And he could have just, if you see him, point him out. If you see him, point him out. They're in these snake robes. Because they're snaky people. These are bad guys. They are bad guys. They do very, very bad things. Okay. And Jesus said, I did one work and you all marvel. Moses gave you circumcision. That is not from Moses, but from the fathers. And you circumcise a man on the Sabbath. If a man receives circumcision on the Sabbath, so that the law of Moses should not be broken, why are you angry with me? Because I made a man completely well on the Sabbath. Do not judge according to appearance, but judge with righteous judgment. Yeah. Do good things. Have good time. Now, some of them from Jew land said, is this not he whom they seek to kill? But look, he speaks boldly, and they say nothing to him. Do the rulers know indeed that this is Le Christ? However, we know where this man is from. But when the Christ comes, no one knows where he is from. Yes, they do, because it says where he is from. These people don't read Das Bible, or this didn't happen. I'm willing to bet these people don't read Das Bible, because they never do. That's why when I read Das Bible and I say shit, people are like, that didn't happen. Show me where it didn't happen. We'll read the whole fucking book so you can show me where this shit didn't happen. Yes, gladly. Okay. Then Jesus cried out as he taught in the temple, saying, you both know me, and you know where I am from. And I have not come of myself, but he who sent me is true, whom you do not know. But I know him, for I am from him, and he sent me. Jesus is out of control. He said, you don't know, but I know. And what I know is true because I know it and I said it. And I said I am from him. And You need to listen to me. Okay, old man. Okay. Oh, he is the best. I just. Therefore, they sought to take him, but no one laid a hand on him. They're going to try to kill him for that, but not for the thing he said in chapter 6. Don't believe it. I don't believe it, because what he said in chapter 6 is way worse than what he said here in chapter 7. This is all very crazy. But no one laid a hand on him, because his hour had not yet come. And many of the people believed in him and said, when the Christ comes, will he do more signs than this guy? The Pharisees heard the crowd murmuring, saying these things concerning him. And the Pharisees and the chief of priests sent officers to take him. And then Jesus said, I will be with you a little while longer, and then I go to him who sent me. You will seek me and not find me. Where I am, you cannot come. And they were like, is he talking in riddles again? Look, no one even understands this riddle. What are you even saying? No one knows. No one knows what you mean. And then he said, you will seek me and not find me. And where I am, you cannot come. On the last day, the great day of the feast, Jesus stood and cried out, saying, if anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. He who believes in me, as the scripture has said, out of his heart will flow rivers of living water. Did he look? But this he spoke concerning the Spirit, whom those believing in him would receive, for the Holy Spirit was not yet given, because Jesus was not glorified. Therefore, many from the crowd, when they heard this saying, they said, surely this is the prophet. And others were like, it's the Christ. But some said, will the Christ come from Galilee? I believe that's exactly where the scriptures say he's going to come. He'll be a Nazarene. No, Christ does not come from the seed of David, as a matter of fact. And from the town of Bethlehem. I don't believe it says any of that. But hold on, it'll say. Some said, will the Christ come out of Galilee? Has not the scripture said, Christ comes from the seed of David, from the town of Bethlehem, where David was? I don't think that's what it says at all. So there was a division among the people because of him. Now, some of them wanted to take him, and no one laid hands on him. Then the officers came to the chief priests and the Pharisees and said, the Pharisees said, where is he? And the officers said, he's not talking shit about me. Have you heard him? He'll bitch smack you with his words. No way. Not even. Nope. Not doing it. And then the Pharisees answered, are you also deceived? Have any of the rulers of the Pharisees believed in him? Yes. But this crowd does not know the law is accursed. Why would they say this? Jesus doesn't even teach the law, though. Okay. Nicodemus said to them, does our law judge a man before it hears him and knows his doings? And they answered and said, aren't you also from Galilee? Search and look, for no prophet has arisen out of Galilee. Yeah, but I thought it was in your book. Okay, anyway. And everyone went to his own house. How many minutes are we at? 31 minutes. What time is it? Oh my God. How many chapters is this book? 21. And where are we at? Oh my God. Why does this make me so tired? Oh yeah, I remember, because I don't want to be reading this. That's why. I don't want to be reading this book. But I'm going to read it. But I am so over the story of Jesus. I've read this so many times. I am over it. Actually, to tell you the truth, this is only the 5th time I've read book 2 of Das Bible. And I didn't want to read it any of those times either. But it always keeps coming up, and then when I actually read this story for people, they never show up. So that I'm stuck reading it, even though I don't want to be reading it, but I already started it. So I'm just reading this for my own health, apparently. Because the people I was reading it for don't even bother showing up. They ask me questions about Jesus and then don't come. Yeah, they don't come when I'm reading about Jesus. But they'll show up for the Old Testament and ask about Jesus, and I tell you what, I'm not answering. Any questions about Jesus after I finish with this book, I'm not answering. I'm going to say, read it yourself. Read it yourself. I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you. You're wasting my time. And that's just gonna have to be how it is. You waste my fucking time. Don't ask me about Jesus. And I suppose reading the story of Jesus is not a waste of time. What's a waste of time is the reason I'm even reading this story in the first place. Waste of fucking time. People send me on these wild goose chases trying to explain Jesus, but they don't even show up. But when I'm reading the Old Testament, they'll ask me all the questions about Jesus. Fuck all the way off. I'm going to start telling people that. If you want to know Jesus, read the shit yourself. I'm here for the Old Testament. And that's just going to be my answer. Because I'm better at the Old Testament anyway. I prefer the Old Testament over this new bullshit. Man, Jesus, you talk so much. Ah, this guy he talks too much. Nah. Okay, here we go. Chapter 8. Now Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. Early in the morning, he came again to the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. Scribes and Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery. I can't even stand it. Oh, gee. I know. Hey, get out of there. That's an ashtray. Look, so they brought this woman to Jesus, right? And they're like, hey, it's a woman and she does bad things. And Jesus is drawn on the ground with a stick playing tic tac toe. So they're accusing her, but really what it is she told one of the rabbis that she wasn't gonna fuck him anymore. So and he's like, you adultering whore, you go to Jesus. And Jesus is playing tic tac toe. Like he gives no fucks about what these people are doing. And they're like, this woman, we accuse her of all these things that may or may not be true. Because she may or may not have wanted to stop fucking one of the preachers. It's a thing that is happening. What do you do with her? And Jesus won his game of tic tac toe and was like, oh, and he was playing tic tac toe against himself. And he won tic tac toe against himself because Jesus outdoes Jesus. That's just a thing. And then Jesus is like, don't sin anymore. And they're like, no, this is not the thing. And Jesus is like, okay, well, if you guys are so great, then you kill her. I'm not killing her. I ain't got time for this. I want to play tic tac toe. Man, this is stupid. And then they all just threw down their rocks and walked away. And then Jesus made his first move against himself and looked at the woman and was like, where'd everybody go? And she's like, they got pissed off. They was really mad. And he's like, well, then just don't be a slut no more. And she's like, okay, goodbye. Then Jesus spoke again, saying, I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. The Pharisees said, you bear witness of yourself. Your witness is not true. First time Jesus has ever repeated himself. Look, it's about to be a thing that's about to happen right here. Okay, so even if I bear witness of myself, my witness is true because I know where I came from and where I am going. But you do not know where I came from and where I am going. You judge according to the flesh. I judge no one. And yet, if I do judge, my judgment is true, for I am not alone. I am with the Father who sent me. It is also written in your law that the testimony of two men is true. One who bears witness of myself, and the Father, he bears witness of me. Look, you lie, and I tell the truth. And I tell the truth because the Father said I did. But you do not know the Father. But I know the Father, and I know the Father is true. Therefore, I'm true too. Okay, old man, go sit back down. Jesus must have sounded so crazy to these people. And they said, where's your father? Where's God's father? And Jesus said, you don't know me, nor my Father. If you had known me, you would have known my Father also. Because words and things. It sounded like one of my cats was choking. No, I guess not. Okay. These words Jesus spoke in the treasury as he taught in the temple, and no one laid hands on him, for his hour had not yet come. Nobody knows that. And then Jesus said, I am going away, and you will seek me, and will die in your sin. Where I go, you cannot come, because I go to front of line. You go to back of line. Yeah. Because you think you're first, you're definitely going to be last. Yeah, back of line for you. And the Jews said, Is he gonna delete himself from his own dad's YouTube? Holy crap, I hope not. That would be wild. What are you doing? No. No. Damn it. Yeah, Jack, come here. Come here. He's definitely not gonna come. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Lay down. No, lay down right there. Lay down. I love him, that Mr. Baby. Okay. Sorry about that. That cat is up there on my other computer desk. This is not a good place for him. Okay. So is he going to delete himself from his own dad's YouTube? Because he's like, you cannot come where I come. And he said, you are from beneath. I am from above. You are of this world. I am not. Therefore, I said to you, you will die in your sins. For if you do not believe that I am He, you will die in your sins. And then they said, who is you? Like, seriously, who is you, bro? Like, don't nobody even know you? And then Jesus said, just what I have been saying to you from the beginning. I have many things to say, and to judge concerning you. But he who sent me is true, and I speak to the world those things which I heard from him. They did not understand that he spoke to them of the Father. Then Jesus said, when you lift up the Son of Man, then you will know that I am he, and that I do nothing of myself, but as my Father taught me, I speak these things, and he who sent me is with me. The Father has not left me alone, for I always do the things that please him. As he spoke these words, many believed in him. Then Jesus said to the terrible people who believed in him, almost died. If you abide in my word, you are my disciples indeed. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Free to tell some more truth that'll make people's buttholes pucker. And it really does make people's buttholes pucker, even in real life right now. If you tell any of these God people anything they don't want to hear, you can see their butthole pucker in their eyes. It's fun. But I say that because I'm sure if you said something to me, you could watch my butthole pucker in my eyes too. Like, tell me something stupid like Jesus' brothers were his disciples. It's like, no, that shit doesn't make my butthole pucker though. It's bad. Because, like, why do you lie to me? Make you free. Oh my God, and he's still. Oh, Jesus, you talk too much. Oh, man. Just when you think it's over, it's not. Oi. Oi. Jesus talks so much. Like, I would not want to be friends with Jesus at school because I'm sure it'd be like being friends with me at school. I do nothing but talk. Oh, yeah. And then they said, but yeah, we're descendants of Abe, and we have never been in bondage to anyone. How can you say you will be made free? These people are fucking stupid on purpose. I can't. I am so done with this book. I am not done. I'm going to continue reading it, but my God. These people are so stupid. Just like, do they realize how evil and stupid this book makes these people look? Not only are they evil, but they're stupid on top of it. They're stupid and evil. They're stupidly evil. Or evilly stupid. One of those things, or maybe both of those things at the same time. In different contexts. It's both of them at the same time. They're so evil, they're stupid. Or they could be so stupid, they're evil. Something. but I fucking hate these people. And then Jesus like, listen, dumbasses, I'm telling you, whoever commits sin is a slave of sin. And a slave does not abide in the house forever, but a son abides forever. Therefore, if the Son makes you free, you shall be free indeed. I know that you are Abe's descendants, but you seek to kill me, because my word has no place in you. I speak what I have seen with my father, and what you have seen with your father. And then they said, with Abraham. And he's like, if you were really Abe's children, you would do the works of Abe. But now you seek to kill me, a man who has told you the truth, which I heard from God. Abe did not do this. You do the deeds of your father. And then they said, we were not born in fornication. No, but you committed a lie, you fuckers. Look, I hate this book. I hate these people. I can't. Lord, help me. I'm mostly joking about that, but well, I'm not mostly joking about that. I do not like these people. I do not like these people. They're just at every time they speak, or every time I gotta say something that they speak, it's like I feel stupider. And these aren't even my words, these are their words, and they make me feel dumb. Look, it's something. Because I feel like every time I read, like, what these people say, I lose an IQ point. And my IQ's low to begin with. So, by the end of this book, I'm going to have 1 IQ point. Okay. And Jesus said, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. Nor have I come of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Because you're talking in riddles, Batman. Because you are not able to listen to my word. You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. But because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Which of you convicts me of sin? And if I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? He who is of God hears God's words. Therefore, you do not hear, because you are not of God. Dun, dun, dun. Man! I'm done. No, I'm not. Okay. And when these terrible ass people answered and said to them, Do we not say rightly, you are a Samaritan and have a demon? And Jesus is like, literally, there goes 5 IQ points. Nikki K, you are down to a 95 IQ because there went 5 IQ points. Okay. I do not have a demon, but I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. And I do not seek my own glory. There is one who seeks and judges. Most assuredly, I'm telling you, if anyone keeps my word, he shall never see death. I don't know why he would say this. And when these terrible ass people said to them, how do we now we know that you have a demon? Abe is dead and the prophets, and you say, if anyone keeps my word, he shall never taste death. Yeah, but Abe didn't keep Jesus' word, though. I want to say that. Anyway, are you greater than Abe or the prophets? Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Sir? Who do you think you are? And they started singing that to Jesus. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Sir? Right. And Jesus said, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father who honors me, of whom you say he is your God. Doubt it. Yet you have not known him, but I know him. And if I say I do not know him, I shall be a liar like you. But I do know him and keep his word. Your father, Abe, rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Then they were like, you're not even 50. So what do you mean? And Jesus said, listen, I'm telling you, before Abe was, I am. Yeah, words and things. Yeah, this. I don't think Jesus said this. I don't think he said the I am part, because these people would have lost their fucking mind. They would have killed him immediately. That I am thing is kind of like saying fuck you to somebody. Like, no, dog, fuck you. And then you get stabbed, Yet this is one of those things. This I am, you quickly get murked. So, and Jesus didn't quickly get murked. No, not. It was a long while after this. So I don't think Jesus said this, because this would have ruffled many feathers in many places. Then they took up stones to throw at him. But Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. He was in a group full of people. Then they took up stones to throw at him. No, but I thought that they had people there that were going to arrest him or something. That's how all of this started, was because they didn't bring Jesus as a prisoner. But anyway, I don't know. But I'm definitely done with that. And again, all this stuff is just my interpretation of what I'm reading. It could be right, it could be wrong. I think I'm closer to right than most people. But again, everybody thinks they're right until they're right. Who's all alive? Let's see. I do not like this sweater, but I do want to do something. I want to see who's on here. Oh, yeah. No, this is definitely where we're going. Okay. Yep. Yep. I'll see you guys over there. Uh, Hi, Robert. Thank you. I'm just hopping out. I'm going to go ahead and end. We read John 7 through 8, 7 and 8. Yeah, John 7 and 8. We are almost done with the story of Jesus, and I cannot fucking wait because it only goes downhill from here. Oh, I'm so not looking forward to it. Anyway, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tonight.